Brilliance Audio presents Light in the Shadows by Linda Lafferty and Andy Stone, performed by Will Dameron. A dark-haired boy sat on an overturned bucket, staring at the two dead men. His grandfather had died during the night, his mouth open, gasping, choking on his hideously swollen tongue. Now the tongue had retreated back into his maw, hiding behind his brown, broken teeth like an eel. The boy's father had lingered a bit longer, but his death had been just as painful. In the dim light of the terracotta oil lamp, a flea skipped across his father's hairline and then disappeared into the folds of his wrinkled tunic, stained brown with sweat. The two men had traveled back the 40 kilometers from Milano just days before and had carried the plague with them to the hamlet of Caravaggio. Now they lay side by side in death. The boy could not cry. He lay stunned, playing the scene of the dying men over in his young mind. He shut his eyes, but still saw the mottled colors of their skin, their mouths twisted in agony, the silver translucence of their tears and sweat. He saw dark browns and red, the palette of the night. Michelangelo barely opened his eyes, his sight only a slit through his thick eyelashes. He studied the sunken lines of his father's face, his lifeless hand. Every minute detail of his father's corpse was branded in his memory with searing permanence. His father had a raucous laugh and a swagger. He would throw his son in the air, making him laugh. He did the same with young Fabrizio, the Marchese's son, only a few years older than Michelangelo. Fermo Merisi, bigger than life, a commoner who had charmed nobility. Michelangelo opened his eyes once more to look at his father, at the hands and arms that had launched young Michele so gleefully in the air. They were as still as stone, and blackened, especially the fingertips. The forearms were puckered with purple welts. The boy stuck his fist in his mouth, sinking his teeth into his first knuckle. Still, he did not cry, but stared hard at the dead men. "You are the man of the family now," his mother had told him, grasping his shoulders minutes before. The raw crimson of her eyes had shocked him. They were the color of bloody meat. The holy water that his mother had fetched from the town's spring, the fount where the apparition of Mary had appeared 100 years ago, proved useless even after the priest's blessing. His mother laid her cheek against his father's chest after the death rattle. Then she fled, sobbing, to the Sforza palace to plead for succor from the widow Marchesa Costanza Colonna of the powerful Sforza family, rulers of Milano. Michele's older sister, Margherita, swept up his 3 younger siblings, taking them along with her as she fetched the gravedigger. "Stay here, Michele," his mother had told her eldest son. Michelangelo was alone in the room with the 2 dead men. The boy's mouth curled up in a snarl, his features pinched in rage. He hurled the flask of useless holy water, dashing it on the stone floor. He watched the stone darken, the contrasting shadows etched at his feet. Then he looked up, staring at the corpses in the dark room. "Where is God? Where is Mary, Mother of God?" He curled his small fists tightly, his dirty fingernails biting into his flesh. The hurt felt good, real. He could control the pain by releasing the pressure, or make his flesh throb by contracting his fingers. He wanted the hurt to match the pain in his heart, to match the black abyss of despair that seized him. He stared down at his filthy nails and the little red gouges he had made in his tender palms. Faint traces of blood tinged his skin. A shiver rocked his body, and he realized how cold he was in the room with no fire. A darkness enveloped him, a curtain descending over his eyes. He fought against the blinding rage. Inside his eyelids, he saw the image of the 2 dead men in sepia. Then, a splash of scarlet. He felt warmth, a radiance. His eyes opened. The slanting sunlight of October shone through the canvas-colored window. The light touched the face of his father, leaving his grandfather's open mouth in shadow. He heard voices outside. The Marchesa Costanza Colonna had sent men to carry the bodies to the graves. The little boy blinked in the sunlight at the warm glow that bathed him and his dead father.